how to create amazing spiral designs using the Affinity Photos equation filter. I'm going to use a layer filled with a gradient, but it could be an image, it could be text, it could be a shape, etc. Select the layer, go to the Filters menu, Distort and Equations. Set the coordinate system to polar. I keep all my equations in a notepad, so I'm going to copy and then paste them over into the R and T fields. You can find the equations in the description below. At this point, it doesn't appear to do anything. Reduce the C parameter and then you will see the spiral appear. It should be noted that the spiral is not perfect. There is a clear break in the design. Once you've changed the parameter C, go to the parameters A and B. You can change the origin of the effect as well by just going to the document and then dragging on the screen. At the moment, the extend mode is set to 0, the default. You can also set it to mirror to fill the entire image. The constants are not cast in stone. Go to the R field and change the 10 to 30 or 2 to change the intensity of the spiral. Or go to the T field and change the 20 to 5. You can repeat this throughout the equation. Just go to some of the fields, put in 2.2 times, etc. to create all kinds of unique spirals. At the same time, you can continue to change the parameter values A and B and C, as well as changing the origin point of the effect. Just keep experimenting as you change the equation. I would suggest if you find a wonderful spiral that you copy the equations at that point into your notepad, as there is no undo, and you'll probably find you can't recreate that exact design again. Continue to experiment with parameters A, B and C. Once you're happy with the design, click Apply. Go to the Tools panel, click the Gradient tool, drag across the screen to create a new gradient, go to the Swatches panel and select a gradient from there or create your own. Go to the Filters menu and select the Repeat Equations command. Yet another wonderful spiral design. You can select part of an image by using the marquee tools in the Tools panel and apply the repeat equations to that. You can select different parts of the image and apply the effect to that. So you can do it once, twice, 3 times or more. If you want to apply the effect totally just to that selection, just go to the Filters menu, Distort and Equations. Don't use the repeat equations. Repeat the filter without a selection and then go to the Layers menu and Fade Equations. Set the fade value to 0 and set a blending mode such as darken, difference, lighten, etc. Experiment with the fade setting as well as the blending modes. I don't want the fade, so I'm going to click Cancel. But if you want the fade, click Apply. I'm going to remove the pixel layer. Now go over to the tools, select a shape such as a circle or a heart and apply that with a fill of a gradient. Go to the Filters menu, Distort and Equations. Set to polar, then go back to the notepad, select and copy, and then paste into the R and T fields, or just type them from memory. To see the spiral effect, go to the parameter C, as well as change the parameters B and A. Also go to the extend mode and set it to mirror. The shape barely changes at all. Go to the image itself and change the origin point of the effect by dragging. You should now see the spiral effect. Experiment with the parameters A, B and C as well as the origin point, and you can create all kinds of amazing shapes from that single shape. Once you're happy with your spiral design, click Apply. The spiral is a pixel layer and you can go to the Layers panel, go to the bottom of the panel and click the FX. You can now add 3D, bevel, glows, shadows and much more. Experiment with all the settings. Once you're happy with your design, click Close. The layer can also be manipulated further by other filters such as Mirror and Deform. You can also apply the Equations filter to other shape layers. You can also duplicate the layer. You can either do that via the Layer menu and Duplicate, or select the object, hold down the Alt or Option key and drag. Fill the entire screen with that layer. You can also recolour the layers by going to the Layer menu and using Adjustment Layers. You can also apply transformations to the layer, rotate, scale, etc. I hope you have found this tutorial of interest. I'm always adding new tutorials about Affinity Photo, as well as other applications, such as Affinity Designer, Photoshop, and many more. Please subscribe to the Graphic Extras channel. Also, please add some comments, as well as a dislike or like. Thank you very much.